CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Connor Hogg.
Good evening. The city has closed the east sidewalk on the high-level bridge and a portion of a lane of traffic south of the bridge due to slope instability caused by the rain. The city says the wet weather has caused unsafe conditions for pedestrians near the southeast side of the bridge. It says a section of the slope next to the wooden guardrail is failing. The city is also closing a portion of the far left turning lane on the 109th Street Hill directly after the high-level bridge as a precaution. The closures will remain in place until further notice. The city says it will have more to say about the situation tomorrow. Until then, drivers should expect delays. Pedestrians can use the west sidewalk. Following last weekend's rain, Tofield is still in a local state of emergency, with more wet weather on the way. The town has cancelled Canada Day festivities. CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports on the community coming together to help one another get by.
The water pumps were on full blast this week at Tofield Packers. Days of heavy rain had the family business surrounded.
Piled sandbags till 3 in the morning.
Jill Lungle says friends, family, and strangers saw they were in trouble and jumped into action.
People were shoveling water, people were paling water. We had squeegees. And honestly everybody worked 24 hours a day. It was crazy.
The effort paid off. Literally.
There isn't a drop that went in there, and people do not believe it.
Do you believe it?
It's crazy. It was a miracle.
Between the refrigerated trailer out back and the freezers inside, Dale Erickson says a food inspector approved hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of beef and other meat for sale. The Premier visited Tofield Wednesday to survey the damage to the town. The Provincial Emergency Management Agency is offering financial support. Earlier this week, folks at Tofield Packers were pumping water from their property across the road into this reservoir, which is now itself being drained in preparation for the weekend.
The idea is to mitigate and to pump until there isn't any more water to pump. With the forecast for the weekend, we know more water's coming, and so we just need to be prepared for that.
One preparation is to cancel the town's upcoming Canada Day festivities.
It didn't feel appropriate for us to be inviting hundreds, if not thousands, of additional people into our community when we're not out of our emergency yet.
Town staff are also exhausted from days of cleanup. Getting some relief now, Wainwright sent a few people down Highway 14 to help out.
Help support the staff here and help clean up all the water around and try to keep them going.
Water restrictions under a local state of emergency are still in place as a wet weekend looms and people brace for round 2.
Looking at the weather forecast, we're keeping everything in place.
In Tofield, Jeremy Thompson, CTV News.
Beaumont is another community hit hard by flooding. It was the first to issue a water use advisory over the weekend. That advisory was lifted this afternoon. The city says one wastewater line wasn't flowing properly. The line was cleared this morning and the system is now back to normal.
Over the next few days, the city itself, we're going to restrict our water use as much as possible for non-essential uses. To give people a chance to catch up so that they can get their laundry and their dishes done. Now, we are asking that they hold off on things like watering their lawn or their garden, although probably don't need to at this time.
The city says it has additional crews and equipment prepared for this weekend's incoming rain. And all the rain we've gotten in the capital region hasn't just flooded basements. Farmers are dealing with flooded fields and soggy crops. As CTV's Amanda Anderson reports, while some worry more rain could be disastrous, others are trying to remain optimistic.
It was looking real good until it rained.
Crops need rain, but this year it's been too much, too fast. From the ground, you can see flooded areas in this farmer's field, but from above, the extent of the water damage is much clearer.
The damage has already been done, so some of these areas won't come back from what those plants there are not going to produce.
Chris Allen says anywhere from 15 to 50% of his land is underwater.
The first 10% that's gone, that's the profit. So anything after that, you're looking at red net revenues.
Further south, near Camrose, it's a similar situation for farmers.
The crop is nowhere near lost. I'm just the optimist looking at it, saying there's lots of water now for later in the year.
Allen says crops that have been able to grow are doing okay for now.
If it stays wet long enough, this crop will start start going backwards very quickly as well. So we'll lose that, we can start having a reduced yield on some of this crop.
In 2020, Tofield County declared a state of agricultural disaster because of significant rain and flooding. Alum says the way things are now, and with more rain on the way, they could be in the same situation this year.
We're kind of on a tipping point. If it stops raining, the sun comes out, go to the lake for a weekend, then get some spraying done, that'd be great. But it rains a bunch more, we're going to be pretty sad.
If a disaster is declared, Alum says it does allow farmers to access funds to help with remediation, but he's hopeful it doesn't come to that.
If I can get the rest of the field to produce half decently, we'll be okay.
The soggy fields can also lead to issues down the road. Any ruts created make it challenging and more expensive for harvest equipment.
They don't go away between now and September when we start harvest. So managing them, but like I said, it's something we'll come up with a plan with and we'll work through it.
Alum says a good 2 weeks of warm, sunny weather after the wet June would do not only farmers, but everyone some good. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Tofield County.
St. Albert RCMP are trying to identify a man after multiple reports of voyeurism at Fountain Park Pool. Last Friday evening, St. Albert RCMP say they responded to a call of a suspicious man at the recreation center. RCMP say numerous witnesses reported a man in the family change room peering over changing stalls at children. They say he ran away when confronted. He was driving a white Mitsubishi Eclipse. If you have any information about this person, contact St. Albert RCMP. A 32-year-old man from Grande Prairie has been charged with 3 counts of sexual assault. Police have released a photo of Joseph Kidd because they are concerned there may be more victims. RCMP say Kidd met a 14-year-old from BC through social media. He allegedly picked her up and brought her back to his home. She was able to escape when he left for work. Police say Kidd is facing charges in that incident as well as 3 others. In one case, police say he tried to lure a 15-year-old into his yellow convertible. Police say there are potentially more victims.
Based on the cases presented before you today and the cases before the court, there is a possibility that there are additional victims out there, and we remain ready to assist and support those victims as necessary.
The RCMP is urging anyone that has been in contact with Kidd in person or online to come forward. Kidd is currently in custody, awaiting a hearing on July 2nd. An RCMP officer has been charged with assault with a weapon. Alberta's police watchdog agency says the case involves a Valley View RCMP officer. It's tied to an incident in November of 2023. ACERT did not provide any details about what happened. ACERT says it laid the charge following advice from prosecutors. The officer was arrested earlier this week. Venezuelans in Edmonton are closely watching news coming out of that country after a deadly set of earthquakes. The country says at least 188 people are dead and hundreds more are trapped by rubble. It says at least 1,500 people are injured and thousands have been reported missing. The Association of Venezuelans in Edmonton is still trying to determine if anyone living here is directly affected. The local association's president says what he's seen so far is devastating.
I'm very sad, but at this point in time it's more like fear. I saw journalists witnessing the rescue of kids. So I know there's people still trapped. I know that in big buildings.
The U.S. Geological Survey says the 7.2 and 7.5 magnitude earthquakes hit within a minute of each other. They're the strongest to strike the country in more than a century. Canadian Global Response is set up to take donations online. An important vote has closed in the town of Gibbons. Facing major financial trouble, the community was asked to decide whether it should stay a town or be dissolved into Sturgeon County. CTV's Evan Kenny has locals' reactions.
Ashley Trishman is hoping her town remains as it is.
So I think it'd be better to just let us try and figure it out on our own.
A review of Gibbons' status was ordered earlier this year because of the town's $13 million debt. Now it's up to its residents to decide on the town's future.
Staying a town.
We should be still a town. I'm in favor of keeping it a town.
If people vote to keep Gibbons as its own town, the Municipal Affairs Minister will direct council on how to address the debt. If they decide it should be dissolved and become a hamlet in Sturgeon County, the province would have to approve the decision. Then the conversion could happen within months. Gibbons would likely lose its mayor, 6 councillors, authority, and representation.
It's home. We've done it since it was, say, 50 people up until now.
Gibbons is not the only municipality that has had to deal with this decision. Last year, Caroline, a village of 500 people, became a hamlet in Clearwater County. Halkirk was dissolved into the county of Paintearth, and 5 years ago, the village of Wabamun became a hamlet in Parkland County.
I do know that there's 3 or 4 other viability reviews that are currently underway too as well.
People we spoke with in the town of 3,200 made it clear they want to remain their own entity. What isn't clear is how the people in Sturgeon County feel.
There is absolutely no mechanism for the receiving municipality to ask their residents whether they want to assume, care and responsibility of a incoming municipality and all the challenges and the issues and concerns that come around that.
The province says the ballots will be counted by hand and that it is committed to a fair, transparent, and accessible process. In Gibbons, Evan Kenny, CTV News.
Canada will face off against South Africa on Sunday in their first game of the World Cup knockout stage. Team Canada came second in their group after losing to first-place Switzerland 2-1. While Germany has already secured top spot in its group, local fans still flock to a watch party at the German-Canadian Cultural Center.
How do we get into the spirit? Well, pretzels, beer, bratwurst, schnitzel, potato salad, sauerkraut, all of the things that you would expect to be German are the things that we have available here. That's what people expect. That's what we like.
Food is a prominent part of the German watch parties at the German Club on Roper Road. The club says as long as Germany stays in the tournament, there will be watch parties. Today's game against Ecuador ended with a loss. A motorcycle group is using a different mode of transportation to help unhoused people downtown. It bought a new food truck to deliver meals to those in need. And as CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti reports today, it received a splash of color.
Each brush and stroke on this blank canvas is being treated as a chance to brighten up another's day.
So we wanted to really humanize the truck.
A truck that will eventually deliver food to unhoused people in Edmonton's downtown. Granger Thompson with Wild Wolves of Canada says he wants to make it easy for people to find a meal.
The point of this is to be able to meet them where they're at, as opposed to a traditional food bank where they would have to come in and then place an order directly there.
The motorcycle group collaborated with the U of A's Chew Project organization and Boyle Street to add a special touch.
We want the kids to be able to have fun with this. We want them to, use their artistic and creative spirit to be able to make something really meaningful.
The Chew Project, which supports LGBTQ2S+ youth, says the skills and talents of this demographic often goes unnoticed.
I think that's really important because a lot of our community struggles with their voice, struggles with feeling heard or seen.
Having people come out and kind of recognize and celebrate them during Pride and letting them kind of embrace their own creativity is really, really special.
According to StatsCan, 13% of people experiencing homelessness identify as LGBTQS+. It's hoped with regular food deliveries, the truck will also help people discover resources.
Hopefully get that exposure out to more individuals in need who may be, suffering situations where at home or wherever they may be in life, they don't always have a safe place to come.
The True Project saves lives. It keeps people alive and it keeps people connected.
The group plans to make its first delivery next week. Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
Coming up next, a report into the province's funding changes for people with disabilities is raising concerns. And coming up a little later, we'll introduce you to a longtime member of the Edmonton Symphony Orchestra who's playing his last piece this weekend.
I've had people in the orchestra in the past that have already retired, that have been my students.
Good evening, folks. Into the mid-20s today, close to 30 again across the north, where the heat warnings will continue for one more day tomorrow. We'll get one more really nice day here in Edmonton tomorrow, and then around supper time, things start to go sideways. We'll talk about the wet weekend on the way. just a few minutes.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
A report from the University of Calgary raises concerns about the province's funding changes for people with disabilities. The new Alberta Disability Assistance Program, ADAP, will replace AISH, or Assured Income for the Severely Handicapped. Under ADAP, people will receive $1,740 a month, $200 less than what AISH provides. The province says people with disabilities can work more on the ADAP program, and it will encourage them to do so. A new report says it could have the opposite effect. Researchers say it fails to address barriers that make it difficult for people with disabilities to find and keep employment.
It's really taking the approach that employment policy for people with disabilities can't succeed if it only focuses on the individual and ignores the labor market that they're trying to enter.
ADAP officially takes effect next week on Canada Day. Edmonton is celebrating the renovation of hundreds of affordable housing units. 900 affordable townhomes and apartments across city-owned properties are now updated. Improvements were made to the structures, energy efficiency, and design. NAC says maintaining existing affordable housing is just as important as building new housing.
I think we spend a lot of time talking about the need for additional housing, and that is critically important, and we're not going to let up on that need. But at the same time, we have a lot of housing that was built pre-1990s that never really felt like it had a plan for that full renovation that you would expect.
The city says this will extend the life of existing homes and improve the quality of life for people who live there. Police services across the country are on alert, including in Alberta, after multiple incidents over the past month left 3 officers dead. The latest on Monday, when a Lethbridge man opened fire in Montreal, killing 1 officer and injuring another. CTV's Tyson Fedor has more on the atmosphere the violence has created.
Calgary's police chief says her members are remaining vigilant following the death of a Montreal police officer earlier this week.
It's gut-wrenching. It's so impactful. And as I said, this has become an attack on our profession.
Despite attacks stretching from Quebec and Ontario to Saskatchewan, police in our city say there are no coordinated threats against officers here. But investigators will not share specifics about intelligence, and they are working with other jurisdictions, including the RCMP.
The members who go out every day to protect and serve this city, knowing that at any minute they face risk, they face increased crime and complexity.
The Police Association says the job of an officer has become more dangerous due to increased violent crime and repeat offenders out on bail.
These are a reminder that no matter how safe you are, there's always people out there who are looking to harm our members. I think the job is more dangerous than it has ever been. We see more guns coming off the street. We see more violent crime, and I think it's a narrative about society overall. We see a mental health system that's overworked and at its breaking point.
One criminologist says it's rare for violent attacks on police officers despite the recent shootings and assaults. But Kelly Sundberg adds it leaves a challenging impression.
It makes it very difficult for the police to recruit. Who wants to join a profession where you potentially could get killed?
Sundberg blames toxic social media messaging for an increase in distaste towards police officers.
We have to start looking at where are these attitudes developing and what can we do to change them.
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Calgary.
Prime Minister Mark Carney says he will attend the Calgary Stampede next week and will campaign against Alberta separatism while he's there. Carney says quitting Canada is not the magic wand separatists think it is. The Prime Minister says he will attempt to motivate pro-Canada voters to show up for the fall referendum. He points to the United Kingdom's Brexit vote to leave the European Union.
I saw firsthand what gets sold in these referenda, that everything's going to be easy. At a minimum, it's years of uncertainty before the subsequent question comes, right at a time the world is fundamentally uncertain.
In October, Albertans will vote on whether to dismiss the idea of separating or start the process of holding a second referendum on the issue. Coming up after the break, a look ahead at one last performance for a violinist who's been entertaining listeners for 6 decades.
It's a fantastic thing when you think that everything in our life has music in it of some kind. You know, even listening to a mosquito has got a bit of a music.
Programming brought to you by Alberta iGaming Corporation. For integrity, for fun, for Alberta.
Welcome back. 26 degrees for a daytime high today. Just the fourth time this month that we've been above average in Edmonton. 22 the average daytime high. Might be the last time we're warmer than average this month. 15 your morning low. We'll see temperatures all day Saturday at around 15 degrees. Here's your morning. Still some sunshine in the Edmonton area. Increasing cloud as the day goes on. By mid-afternoon, you've got this chance of some showers and thunderstorms to the south. That line of thunderstorms marches north, so around supper time into the evening hours, showers or thunderstorms in the Edmonton region. A little better chance back off to the northwest through the evening. I think there might be a little bit of a break Friday night into early Saturday morning before the rain intensifies through the afternoon. This is for Edmonton. If you're off to the east, you're going to see some steadier rain Friday night and through most of the day Saturday. Bulk of the rain in Edmonton likely falls Saturday afternoon. Again, a little bit of a break for the city Saturday night into Sunday morning, and then the rain wraps back in. So if you look at potential rainfall estimates, some of the heaviest here is going to be off to the east of Edmonton by the end of the day Saturday. This is where you need it the least. And then the heaviest of the rain Saturday night into Sunday is probably north and northwest of Edmonton. Some of these spots, maybe 80 plus. I mean, this is probably not, for most areas, not as heavy as the rain that we saw last weekend. But, I mean, even if you get 20 to 30 millimeters of rain on saturated ground, it's got nowhere to go. Overland flooding will once again be an issue for a number of spots through the course of the weekend. 15 degrees in Fort McMurray tomorrow morning, 14 for Grande Prairie. We'll be in that 15-degree range here in the city, 13 in Red Deer. Daytime highs around 30. Again, one more day with a heat warning across the north, 26 in Cold Lake, 23 in some afternoon thunderstorms in Grande Prairie. Could see some mid-afternoon thunderstorms in Red Deer as well. You get to about 23. We'll be around 23 here in Edmonton. Increase in cloud through the day, chance of showers, thunderstorms, supper time and into the evening hours. Gusty for Saturday. Gusts will be about 50 or 60 kilometers per hour. It'll be breezy Friday. It'll be breezy Sunday. Saturday's the windiest day, I think. It's probably also when most of the rain falls. If we're talking estimates, maybe 20 to 40 Saturday, maybe 10 to 20 millimeters on Sunday. Mid to high teens for daytime highs, and then not a lot of heat in the long-range forecast. I mean, maybe the end of next week we get back into the mid-20s, but most of next week it just stays unsettled with daytime highs near 20. That is your forecast.
Edmonton Symphony believes one of its violinists may be the longest-serving orchestra member in the world, and he'll give his final performance this weekend. CTV's Noah Rashog has more.
Dozens of instruments, all working together like a well-oiled machine to bring a world of magic to life. Its oldest, most reliable part, 82-year-old Brody Olsen, has been stringing melodies from his beloved violin for 65 years.
It's a fantastic thing when you think that everything in our life has music in it of some kind. You know, even listening to a mosquito has got a bit of a music.
Brody's career started at just 6 years old, following his father's footsteps, playing with him in the symphony, then inheriting his music school.
I've had people in the orchestra in the past that have already retired, that have been my students. The last one, would have been Robert Rishu.
We caught up with Rishu, who says that he and dozens of others owe their careers to Brody's mentorship.
And it was Brody, in fact, who told me, Rob, there's a vacancy in the second violin section. You better get your chops together and audition.
The Edmonton Symphony Orchestra says that Olsen is the longest actively serving symphony player, not just in Alberta or Canada, but the entire world. Brody's final curtain call is this weekend. His last performance, the musical world of Harry Potter.
After 65 years, I'm looking at it and I'm saying, well, okay, it may be the time to pass the torch with, as the Montreal Canadiens say, with failing hands, we're passing the torch.
Noah Rashog, CTV News, Edmonton.
Thanks for watching us tonight. For the latest news anytime, visit our website, ctvnewsedmonton.ca. Thank you for spending your time here. Have a good night.